Coming up on Shelby this week, 1,000 jobs will be added to a business right here in Shelby Township. We'll tell you what company just confirmed its new location. And the Shelby Township Police Department might be getting a little bigger. We have the details on the proposal. And dirty lake water in Michigan was a common theme this past summer. Now 2 state representatives are taking a stand and getting answers. We have all this and much more coming up on Shelby this week. Amazon announced it's building a fulfillment center, and it will be right here in our township. The online retailer will be building a 1 million square foot building at the former Visteon Corporation Auto Parts plant at 23 Mile and Mound Road.
Well, you know, it means a lot. For one thing, the parcel we've been looking at now for too long, it's been vacant. And it's been a top priority for our Board of Trustees to get someone in there that could use that land. And of course, Amazon could not be a better partner.
After months of speculation, the added property will bring 1,000 jobs to the community. This center is Amazon's 3rd large-scale building in Metro Detroit. The other 2 are located in Livonia and Romulus.
We're quite proud of the fact well, we think it's an endorsement of Shelby Township that they pick us over many other cities and townships. And of course, we had a lot of help from the county. Mark Hackle and his team did a fantastic job making sure that all our hurdles were cleared, and we could not have done this without them.
This site here was selected by Amazon because it fits their kind of their corporate profile, what they're looking for, to how do they reach a customer base. So we're talking about Romulus, Livonia, and out here in Shelby Township, really help them when it comes to their logistics of moving and transporting goods and product. So they said, hey, we need something out in Macomb County. Do you have a site? When they came to us, we thought about this place here, the former Visteon site out here. And when they came out here, they took a look with a site visit. They came to the realization this might fit what they're looking for. So in a very short period of time, working with their corporate people, working with the people that they had kind of doing the front work on it, they said, here's what we need to do and here's how we need it to happen.
This site will sit on 95 acres of land, and many of the surrounding businesses will see benefit from the construction. Economically,
most people would say that 1,000 jobs is sometimes factored by a multiplier of 4. So if you think 1,000 jobs, now we're looking at companies and businesses around here. I'm looking across the street right now at Bad Brad's, and I'm thinking they're probably going to have to add on. I mean, they're going to be very excited because some of these people that are working here are going to want to go across the street and grab lunch or grab dinner there. So this is going to have an impact on the rest of the economy in Macomb County as well.
The Fulfillment Center will open in 2018. You can find information on potential jobs at amazondelivers.jobs. The Shelby Township Police Department could soon be growing. The Board of Trustees approved a fee of $21,000 for preliminary architectural services on the expansion to the building. The cost and sketches of the new design will be proposed to the board again, and if the price stays right, Township Supervisor Rick Stathakis believes the board will approve the expansion.
The preliminary numbers are right around $2.3 million for an expansion. And I got to remind you, when we built this police department, we didn't want to spend a dime more than $4 million. And we said that we're going to build it according to what we need at that time, knowing full well that we're going to need more space later. And of course, we knew we would, and we do. So we designed the present police department so that when the day came when we would expand, we could just knock out that back wall and expand. So I hope that's what we can do, and I hope that we can break ground by spring of next year.
With this new expansion, taxpayers may be concerned of increases, but Supervisor Stathakis assures this will be paid in cash and all taxes for residents will stay the same. The ongoing investigation into the Macomb County corruption probe has charged another person with bribery. 56-year-old Fazula Khan is charged with 4 counts of bribery and could face up to 10 years in prison for each count. Khan is the president and operations manager of the Sterling Heights-based engineering firm Fazl Khan & Associates. He currently serves as Shelby Township's engineer. Shelby this week talked to Township Supervisor Rick Stathakis about the charges against Khan.
We have questions too. The information is barely 24 hours old, and the only information we have is, like you, what we've read in the newspaper. So that's hardly enough to go on to assume or conclude to any action right now. So we're going to continue gathering information, and we'll act accordingly.
At the Shelby Township Board meeting, Township Attorney Rob Huth explained why it's necessary to take this process slowly.
Sure. The township did have a contract with a vendor. There was allegations that amounted to an indictment against the vendor and employee family members. The township did terminate the vendor's contract ahead of the determination of the criminal case. As it turned out, that vendor filed a suit against the township. The township went to jury trial on that matter. Actually, it was I defended the township. It was a 2-week jury trial. At the end of the trial, the jury agreed with the township's decision to terminate the contract, awarded $0 to the vendor. That vendor appealed to the Michigan Court of Appeals. The Michigan Court of Appeals read the briefs, read the transcripts from the trial, and said the jury got it wrong, the township got it wrong, the contract should not have been terminated, and awarded it was at least $500,000, may have been more with interest, $500,000 to the vendor. So we have to, in discussing this issue with this vendor, this engineer, we have to make sure we gather the information. There really has been none available besides what's in the paper. We have to review contracts, and we have to make sure we've learned lessons regarding this other situation and handle it appropriately. I don't know what that action would be tonight.
Khan is the 16th person to be charged with bribery in Macomb County. So far, 8 of the 16 people have struck plea deals with prosecutors. For much of the summer, some Michigan lakes were filled with high counts of bacteria, forcing them to close beach access. 2 Michigan representatives are hosting a town hall meeting to talk about the concern. Representatives Peter Lucido and Kevin Hertel will meet with residents and answer questions. The Michigan Department of Environmental Quality will also be there. The town hall is October 2nd at the McRae Banquet and Event Center in Harrison Township. Doors will open at 6 p.m. If you have any questions or concerns, contact the numbers or emails on your screen. Turning Point, located right here in Macomb County, helps victims of domestic violence and sexual assault regain control of their lives. For the 10th consecutive year, the organization will host Tara's Walk in memory of Tara Grant. You may remember Grant as a Washington Township woman who was murdered by her husband in 2007.
It's an awareness event, it's a fundraiser, it's just for people to get together, and we have a lot of survivor teams, people who are honoring somebody in their family that was affected, unfortunately usually people who were killed. So it's a family-friendly event. I mean, so it kind of covers a lot of bases.
The goal is to have 500 people for the walk, and so far, 125 people are registered. The money raised helps out many people who need to get out of bad situations.
We've used it to move people out of state. We've had women that call that are in immediate danger for their lives. You know, we get those calls. It's sad, and we get 12,000 crisis line calls a year. 12,000, 1,000 calls a month of somebody that needs our help. And so we get these calls from women who are in immediate danger. We've used those funds to, you need to go now. We will get you a bus ticket. We will help you move. We will get you out of state. We will put you up in a hotel. We will do whatever we need to do to help keep these women and children safe.
The walk kicks off Domestic Awareness Month as well. Tara's Walk is September 13th at 10 a.m. at Freedom Hill. You can register online at turningpointmacomb.org. Still ahead on Shelby this week, one local resident has dedicated a lot of her life to recycling efforts here in Shelby Township, and she's decided to say goodbye to her committee. We talked with her about her plans. And the Shelby Community Foundation held its annual luncheon where hundreds of women turned out for the event. And find out why the dead is coming back to Utica. Stay tuned.
Fancy pants peanut butter?
A big screen television.
You haven't even bought a sofa yet.
A motorcycle?
When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles. What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Welcome back. One woman has been a part of this Shelby Township Committee for close to a quarter of a century, and she's decided not to seek reappointment. Courtney Bennett has more.
Recycling has become a large part of the Shelby Township community, and it is because of one woman and her commitment to preserving the earth. Marietta Crabtree has been reappointed as chairperson of the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee 12 times. One of her biggest accomplishments was her initiation of the curbside recycling program. Since its start, it has grown significantly.
Right now we have a participation rate of approximately 80-some% in Shelby Township, which is very good and way above the average for the state of Michigan. So I'm very proud of the people in Shelby Township.
Science and helping make the earth a better place has been a large part of Marietta's life. As a former science teacher, she knows the importance of preserving the earth and its resources.
Our main objective is stewardship of the earth and doing what is important to help keep a good environment for our children and our grandchildren and future generations.
For the first time since 1993, she has decided not to seek reappointment as chairperson.
I have reached a point in my life where I would like to simplify things and have less responsibility and do more traveling. And I feel the committee is in very good hands. And so I just feel that this is the right time to not ask for reappointment. I will miss the people that I work with very much, but I will continue on in other ways to be involved in the community and to support good stewardship.
The Shelby Township Solid Waste and Recycling Committee dedicated a room in her honor for all of her service through the years. We want to thank Marietta for her hard work in Shelby Township. Reporting for Shelby This Week, I'm Courtney Bennett.
Cherry Creek Golf Club welcomed women of all ages for the annual Shelby Community Foundation's Women's Luncheon. And this year's theme is an important issue in the state of Michigan.
Today, the Shelby Community Foundation is having our 6th annual Women Helping Women Step It Up Luncheon and Lecture. Today's topic is human trafficking, awareness and prevention. We have 2 wonderful speakers, and we also have vendor shopping here because women love to shop. So anyway, all the money that is raised from these events goes into our fund, which is Women Helping Women.
If you'd like to donate money to help support the Shelby Community Foundation, you can call them at 586-909-5305 or send money to P.O. Box 183181, Shelby Township, Michigan. That's 48318. This past week, 2 businesses had their grand openings in Shelby Township. We welcomed Sherwin-Williams and Farmers Insurance to the community.
1, 2, 3.
This is the number 55 store for the Detroit district, and the store opened up in July, and the store target is deal with DIY, the homeowners, and professional painters. So far, we're off to a great start as far as taking care of our customers. We provide elite products, provide great customer service, and we have in-home consultation if you need it.
Yeah, business has changed a lot. I'm back to the chamber 9 years, but like 15 years ago, you didn't have social media. So I mean, back then it was about you would join the chamber just to do something good, to be part of the community, get that visibility. Now it's really about combining that with social media. So we actually have some millennials that work for the chamber that help get us out there into Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and so probably a lot of people knew about this ribbon cutting, or will know more about it once we leave here today and we post everything out on, like I said, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. 1, 2, 3. Yay!
We offer auto, home, life, business, insurance, and I enjoy working with people and looking forward to. I just got into insurance and used to do consulting before that, so I want to bring my experience as a consultant to the insurance field. My background in accounting, I used to be a controller, so I understand business and can work with business and help them get the proper amount of coverage for their business so that they have security.
Sherwin-Williams is located on Corporate Drive off 23 Mile Road, and Farmers Insurance sits in between 24 and 25 Mile Road on Ansbury Drive. The Living Dead is coming alive in the city of Utica. Zombie Fest is making its return to downtown Utica, and everyone is invited.
It's a real family event. This is something that Utica had been doing for a number of years. Last year we didn't do it. When I came into City Council, I kept hearing about folks saying, oh, how much they missed it. And so I spoke with our folks at our DDA, and everybody was game to get it going on again. So we're going to have a wide variety of activities for kids and zombies of all ages.
There are many events throughout the day, like spooky story time for kids and a 5K run walk. And of course, the highlight will be zombification makeup for anyone interested in becoming a zombie for the day.
The dead come back big time to Utica, hugely. So we have music, we have bands, we have, the home run derby that Jimmy John's is going to partner with. So we have new elements, but it's coming back even bigger and better.
The all-day event takes place on October 7th, with most events starting at noon. You can find more information by listing their Facebook page at Utica Zombie Festival or visit utica-events.com/zombiefest. After hundreds of people voted, one Shelby Township couple received a much-needed gift. Our Nick Buckler has more about this family.
Everyone would love a free roof, but if anyone needed one, it was Anthony and Jasmine Freeman. Their daughter is 10 months old and has been in the hospital all but about 20 days of her young life.
Our daughter's been in the hospital basically her entire life. So for the past 9 months, we actually haven't even really been home. It's been Ann Arbor when I'm not at work. And my wife's been living in Ann Arbor with my son the whole time. So this is just one of those huge burdens that we're just feel so blessed.
The Freeman's roof was old and needed to be replaced. Many rooms leaked when it rained. They were extremely honored to even be nominated, let alone win. And they say they have their daughter to thank for that. Hope is their 10-month-old daughter who has already had to have 4 surgeries, 2 of which being for her heart. And when the community heard their story, the support they received was substantial.
So much love and so many people that just, met us through that alone, just show support. And like I said, when it actually happened, when the RidgeCon team came and told us, it wasn't until about 20 minutes after they left, and we're like, did we actually just win this thing? So it's been a wild ride. I mean, in all honesty, most of our focus has been on our daughter, and this is just phenomenal.
And the team at RidgeCon Construction was happy to help through their annual No Roof Left Behind contest.
And normally what happens is this is what's going on. The people that have these really terrible situations, the public gets wind of that, and the voting process, whoever gets the most wins, and these people really are, their whole family's been very, very kind to us and extended themselves in a very big way, so we're appreciative of that. And yeah, it's great when they appreciate it too, and they say thank you for coming out. Makes you feel good.
And Hope will be coming home this week, and well, she'll be coming home to a home with no more leaks in the roof. Reporting for Shelby this week, I'm Nick Buckler.
Coming up next, see how your favorite home team did this past week on the field. We have your football highlights. And baseball was played at Jimmy John's Field, but this group was a little bit different than the typical players you usually see.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Now, it may not have felt like fall this past weekend, but the lights were on and the players hit the field for another week in high school football. Let's see how your favorite hometown teams did.
Utica taking on Anchor Bay. First play of the game. Pegasic black to pass. Picked off by Anchor Bay. They would drive it down to the 1 and to make it 7-0. Quarterback sneak into the end zone. Utica would get the ball back, but stall out, punting. Blocked by Anchor Bay and recovered by Andrew Zalicki. Jacob Paul cutting his way through Chieftain defenders to make it 14-0. Second quarter, Anchor Bay Tars driving, but intercepted by Kevon Higdon. Anchor Bay in the end zone. Michael Harper reaching for the end zone, but Utica stops him shy. But Utica's defense would stop them at the goal line going into the half with still the score 14-0 Anchor Bay. On to the second half. Utica, big hit by Hitesh Kumar and Elijah Hui. But the Chieftains were plagued by miscues. Kevon Higdon touches this punt. Jacob Paul jumping over Chieftain defenders and mashing right stick. And Jacob Paul wasn't done. Carrying Chieftain defenders into the red zone. But Anchor Bay's drive would stall out. They would come away with a field goal and go up 17-0. But Anchor Bay wasn't done there. Bryce Heaney puts on the afterburners. Nobody can catch him. 7 more points. Ensuing kickoff onside. And nothing is going Utica's way. Anchor Bay ball. And to put Anchor Bay up 31-0, Jacob Paul. Nobody touches him. Little misdirection, Michael Harper. And he's off to the races, diving for the pylon, but he's short. And the drive would culminate with a 1-yard quarterback sneak to bring us to our final score. Anchor Bay Tars 38, Utica Chieftains 0.
It's week 4 action in the MAC Red as your Eisenhower Eagles would travel to Clinton Township to take on the Chippewa Valley Big Reds. The Eagles would open the scoring quickly as Usad Buhaidar takes the end around off the misdirection, giving the Eagles a 7-0 lead. But the Big Reds, however, would come stumbling out of the gate as the Eagles' Alex Schmidt recovers the fumble on their opening drive. And the Eagles would look to capitalize on the turnover, and they would make them pay as Morris takes the pitch and breaks the plane of the end zone, giving the Eagles a 14-0 lead. But the Big Reds would start to fight back as Tommy Schuster steps back to pass and finds Johnnaze Owens in the back of the end zone for a Big Reds touchdown, cutting the Eagles' lead to 7. Max Whitworth says, "Whatever you can do, I can do better," as he finds Buhaidar wide open deep downfield, and no one is catching him as he puts the Eagles up 21-7. Now late in the second quarter, the Eagles would start to pile it on as Whitworth finds Morris on the short pass, and Morris takes it to the house, giving the Eagles a 28-7 lead heading into the halftime break. And now in the third quarter, the Big Reds would start chipping away at the lead as Javon Gibson bulldozes his way in for 6, cutting the Eagles' lead to 14. On their next drive, the Eagles would pull a rabbit out of the hat as Ben Metz gets the pitch from Morris on the end around, and he finds Buhaidar wide open, and he's in for another touchdown, making the score 35-14. But Chippewa wouldn't go quietly into the night as Schuster steps up in the pocket and launches one to the back of the end zone and connects with David Ellis for the Big Reds touchdown, cutting the Eagles' lead back to 14. But the Eagles would continue to answer the bell as Caleb Oyster breaks off this carry for 30 yards and a touchdown as the Eagles double up the Big Reds 42-21. But those pesky Big Reds wouldn't go down without a fight as Andre Chenault fights his way into the end zone, cutting the Eagles' lead back to 14. But the Eagles would give the ball right back as Brian Sheweck picks Oyster's pocket, and he's off to the races as he takes it all the way home for 6, cutting the Eagles' lead back to 7 late in the fourth quarter. But Caleb Oyster would continue his best Jack Preventure impersonation as he looks like he's playing Madden on his way to this touchdown. As the Eagles go back up by 14, Tommy Schuster would try to keep the Big Reds in it with under a minute to play as he takes in the QB sneak, cutting the Eagles' lead back to 7. And now needing to just run out the clock, disaster strikes as Caleb Oyster coughs up the ball, and it is recovered by Chippewa with under a minute to play. The Big Reds would get 2 last heaves to tie the game from just inside Eagles territory. But both passes would be broken up in the end zone as the Eagles hold on to a 49-42 victory. Next up, Romeo.
Anyone who's played sports knows the love of the game still sticks with you even after high school and college. And for this baseball league, they'll still be playing well into their 80s. Our Nick Buckler spent the day at Jimmy John's Field to meet the men who still play for the love of the game.
Age didn't matter Saturday as men of all ages were on a big stage for the MSBL All-Star Game at Jimmy John's Field.
We actually have 5 leagues, 18 and over, 35 and over, 45 and over, 55 and over, and 65 and over. So we have the 18s and the 35 combined for this game, and then at 3 o'clock we're going to have our 45 and 55. That's 45 and 55 and over hardball. It's not softball, it's hardball.
It's hard to find a hardball league once you get past high school, but the Detroit MSBL has been going strong for 30 years.
Well, being that this is our 30th anniversary of the league, we wanted to do something special and something different. And, we usually play at either high school or college fields around the area. And we thought it'd be a good idea to come to a venue like this and make it something special.
Many family members and friends came out to the ball game and had a lot to do when they weren't taking in the action. And in between games, there's always so much to do right here at Jimmy John's Field, like play a little cornhole. The league is always looking for people who love the game as much as they do.
About every April in the spring, we have a workout where people can come out, show their skills, and get drafted by teams.
For more information about how you can keep your baseball dreams alive, you can head to DetroitMSBL.com. For Shelby This Week, I'm Nick Buckler.
Good old Joe. This is what is it?
And that's it for us here at Shelby This Week. Check us out all the time on our Facebook page. Just search ShelbyTV. We'll leave you now with more scenes from the Women's Luncheon. Thanks for watching.